This morning to President Trump's call to end this filibuster and what that really means. Joining us now in Nebraska, Representative Mike Flood, chair of the Republican Main Street Caucus. Congressman, thanks so much for being with us. Happy Halloween, sir.
Happy Halloween to you. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. So let's talk about this. We saw Senate Majority Leader John Thune say earlier this month that he was not considering ending the filibuster. We get it. You give up that, 60 vote threshold. It could be used against you if you lose control of the House and Senate at some point. Do you think it's going to change now, though, with the president's post last night?
Well, I think what the president did was articulate what a lot of people in Washington think should happen. I'm not one of them. I think we should keep the 60-vote margin. I think it's important that the Senate retains that as an institution. But, A, I'm not in the Senate, and B, there are a lot of people talking about it. And C, I think if you're a House or Senate Democrat right now, you want something done about this situation. And I think things are going to change this week. I mean, the fact that SNAP is not going to be available starting Saturday, the New York governor calling a state of emergency, it's going to be like that in every city across America. We're going to see things we haven't seen before. Yeah. We're also probably not going to have an air travel system because I doubt there's a lot of delay. I doubt there's a lot of planes on time given the air traffic controller situation. So I think it's all going to converge. And my guess is later next week, hopefully, we will be back in action.
Yeah, imagine air traffic controllers not wanting to work for free. What's wrong with them, right?
Oh.
Goodness. John Thune on the floor of the Senate yesterday. This was a fiery moment, a strong message to his colleagues. I know you're in the House, but this was his message to his colleagues in the Senate. Let's listen.
And we've tried to do that 13 times. You voted no 13 times. This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about. And you all have just figured out, 29 days in, that, there might be some consequences. 13 times people over here voted to fund SNAP. 13 times they voted to fund WIC. My aching back.
Been like that too often.
Well, I ride the plane with him twice a week from Omaha to D.C., and I just had dinner last night with Dusty Johnson from South Dakota. Dusty and I, and Dusty knows him very well, he said, that was real. That was John Thune upset. That is not what you see out of John Thune. That was not theatrics. That was a Senate majority leader, very, very frustrated. And riding the plane with him so many times, I was shocked when I saw that. But I just say, good for you. He put voice to what the American people are saying. He gave a voice to so many people in this country that feel like Democrats are not listening to them.
Right, and especially after you propose initiatives that you can fund, let's just fund SNAP then. Hey, let's have an up or down vote on, paying our military. Just an up or down vote, and we're voting no on those two. Thursday, Governor Hochul from New York declared a state of emergency in her state. This was her post. The Trump administration would rather starve children and families than lift a finger to help them put food on the table. She went on to say, I'm declaring the state of emergency to use every tool we have to help the 3 million New Yorkers losing food assistance because of the GOP shutdown. This is a national emergency, obviously. Republicans, though, have voted to reopen it 13 times yes. Is the Democrats voting no?
And by the way, on October 1st, if the president was so inclined to take SNAP away, he could have done it right there. But he used every available dollar, scraping it from other ancillary funds to keep SNAP going until November 1st. I mean, this is a president that wants this to change. And what I think is dangerous is the rhetoric from the Democrats is going to give action to people that think they can go into a convenience store, bust in, and just start taking things. This could break down into lawlessness, and this could. How does this end, right? The Democrats have to come to the table and do the right thing.
Well, when you can't feed your family, people do get quite desperate. Let's take a look at the numbers. Those impacted across the country tomorrow morning. The highest percentage of residents relying on SNAP benefits. They are in New Mexico. Our producers put these numbers together. New Mexico, Washington, D.C., and Louisiana, pulling on the USDA website for this data here. And then California, of course, the largest state, in terms of, population here. The number of Americans there, 5.3 million who claim food stamps. Then there's Utah, Wyoming, New Hampshire. They're among the states with the fewest number of residents receiving the benefits. But listen, it's nationwide. There's every state impacted by this, Congressman.
And all for what? To protect Chuck Schumer's ability to get elected over AOC in New York. That's what this is about. He did the right thing back in March, but he got beat up for it unfairly. So now, to stay in the Senate, one man in New York is going to send thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people hungry at night, each night for the next week because he's worried about his Senate seat. That's what this is really about.
Congressman Mike Flood from the great state of Nebraska. Sir, thank you so much. We'll be watching through the weekend. Appreciate you.
For having me on.
So the loss of SNAP.